technical details on these bikes. I've done 5 hours enduro green laning on them, and I have to say I am impressed. Now, we have two types of bikes here. First of all, we've got the Blade X, was a little bit more of a green laner as far as my interpretation of it. And then we have the Supermoto. Now, I'm going to be completely upfront and honest, I am not a Supermoto rider, and I don't have any experience of Supermoto, so I find it a little bit more difficult for me to give a fair review on how this bike performs, the Apache, in terms of Supermoto. Now, in terms of green laning and byways, I would say that the Blade X definitely feels like a superior option between the two. Now, the reason behind that is because the setup and your body position, the way that the controls feels, it just feels a little bit more comfortable and at home going on the byways. It's worth noting that either of these bikes are going to be a great choice for a first bike, buzzing around town, being on the roads. But I think if you're wanting to then take that step to doing some of the byways and green lanes around, the Blade X is probably going to be the better option for you. Focusing in on the Blade X, let's look at some of the statistics. Now, first of all, we've got the size of the bike, and it is a compact 125. It's 134 kilos, which when you compare it to some of the more high performance enduro bikes on the market, that is actually quite a lot of weight. However, Sinnis have done a really good job of putting that weight in the right place, so it actually doesn't feel heavy. It's got a very low seat height of 91 centimeters, which means for me, I can get both of my feet very firmly planted on the ground, which is a fantastic thing for confidence when you're new to off-roading. It's just generally quite nice to be able to touch the ground. And with the weight, it's really easy to pick up even. You've got big grab handles, you can see them on the back here, and that makes picking them up off the ground considerably less daunting because you've got something really nice and solid to get hold of. They have disc brakes front and back, which is a huge bonus on a bike, particularly of this sort of price range. And I think generally Sinnis have done a good job of making this bike pretty robust. I can't actually count how many times it went down in the very slippery mud riding them today, but what I can say is that there is no damage to the bike because it's clearly been designed to withstand being dropped and put through its paces in some off-road terrain. It comes with a big metal skid tape, which obviously is going to protect the bottom of the engine. You've got nice guards on the exhausts. All of the natural place where you would have protection on the bike, it comes with that as standard. These big wing mirrors I obviously removed because they would have not only been damaged if I fell off, they'd probably have taken me off catching on a tree or something. I think there are a couple of limitations of this bike that are worth mentioning. The first one is the availability of tyres. I haven't done a lot of digging, but the tyre that it's on right now is only a little bit knobbly, and I think you'd have a lot more grip taking it off-road, particularly in the mud today, if you had a slightly better off-road tyre. Having said that, I did cope perfectly fine with this tyre, and it would be very good on the road as well. So maybe it's actually a bit of a hybrid that can handle both without being too bad. The other thing that I would say on this bike is that the ground clearance of the foot pegs is actually quite low. There's always going to be a disadvantage of having a low bike versus having a high bike, and for this, having your really low seat height, you do have low peg height, which was only a problem when we were in the really deep Land Rover ruts riding along and you sort of caught your pegs on the ground every so often. Not a huge drama, not something that you can't really work around, but things that I think are worth mentioning. In terms of the engine and the mechanics behind the Sinnis Blade X, this is a Suzuki 125 engine, and from my understanding, I am quite sure that a Suzuki engine is one of those that is going to be robust. I don't think you're going to be having a problem. Suzuki have a very good reputation when it comes to that. The bike comes with a key, fantastic for security, being able to leave it and unlock it down. It's got a fantastic heads-up display with digital fuel ranges and your speedo, etc. It's an obvious one, but they are petrol machines. I don't think a diesel motorbike has been made for a very long time, if ever. So petrol. In terms of your first motorbike that's going to be suitable being on L plates, getting your confidence up, buzzing around town, being on the road, and then having a dabble off-road, I really genuinely think this is an absolutely fantastic choice. It's a great value for money and it's going to give you a lot of fun. It's not all about getting on a big race machine because the learning curve will be so much harder. This will help guide you through your journey and progression, and it's a very highly rated bike in my opinion. I'm definitely a fan. I'm Vanessa, the girl on a bike. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Head on over to Instagram and Facebook, hit like and follow, and thank you for your time.